Don't call it a comeback. But you can call it beginning. It's finally happened, folks. Best of 7 grand finals. B was on the verge of a full wipe. He rallies. He comes back. He wins game 4 in an insane fashion and gets us in to Dry Arabia with his Rus pick. Wow, on the other side, we'll be playing as the Byzantines. Byzantines that have proven surprisingly effective at putting a stopper to Rus greed. Can they do it with the new system builds? Or has the early aggro point been hurt enough that Rus now have an edge? That's what we're going to find out. B, what a way to start, though. It's going to be an outpost rush against the Biz. I mean, it is the most vulnerable Sift outpost rushes in Age of Empires 4. I think that's fair to say. With the Grand Winery and the berries and the reliance on it, and the time you go for them, it leaves the goal wide open for this. B now marching across. We'll get the Gamba up in a second. Game number 5. Didn't think we were going to be typing that today. But B's just that type of guy. I mean, look at the results of the semifinals, folks. That was a 2-0 score at one point against him. And then Anathan gets reverse swept. Could we just be seeing B taking a stylistic approach to winning Midweek Muster number 27? Spimmin arrive. Nakratoy has already been activated. Only 12 seconds left. Do you outpost the front? Like, it's interesting between the front and the back. You can either stop mercenaries, but it takes ages to reach, or you take both his system scaling and his gold away. Feels like B wants the gold. Maybe? Really just holding back for the time being. That's because he's actually missing the wood. This is the weird thing, guys. Like, this is the absurd thing. You need to register the civ that he's rushing Byzantines with. It's not 100 wood he needs. He needs 175 for a wooden fortress. That's just absurd. A lot of injured villagers here. Well, I'm doing a good job of holding his own. And I think, yep, he should have enough there between the workers. Actually comes back. Wait, really? No, he has got what he needs. He just needs to drop off. But Wham's being a greedy boy. And a little bit surprised B is letting that one worker exist, but he doesn't actually see him on the mining camp. New spearman is going to arrive and reveal it. Do you go after the mining camp or the system? I guess you have to go mining camp because system's close enough that you can prepare it. And here we go. He looks to strike a pose. It's going to be quite the pretty picture. Wooden fortress on the way. 1 minute required to build this. Reminder, this thing has almost double the health of an outpost. And, wait, actually, that's over double, right? And it costs the same amount of time to build. And less than double the resources. Not bad. So Grand Winery in the back. Wham does have backup gold options. They're fairly far out. So if B really wants to justify this, I guess he needs to try and find a way of keeping the pressure going in feudal. Otherwise, it's like annoying, but you're not going to stop your opponent from getting what they need eventually. What do you do as a follow-up? I mean, you could actually... You've shown spears. You're probably expecting your opponent to put archers. So you could technically, like, add in knights as Rus here. And then eventually find your way around to archers. Because, like, did B actually do well on the food? Wham got 11 sheep. B only got 9. Yeah. And this is a rare sight. You're used to seeing Rus always win the sheep battle because of the extra scouts. But remember, this was not a hunting cabin game. It was a very different style of Rus. I mean, in most ways, right? He didn't build a hunting cabin, but he still only touched food because, hilariously, you still somehow get all this gold courtesy of the bounty gathering system. Golden Gate now on the way. Hunting cabin is now being added in. All of a sudden, we've just defaulted to a standard Rus build. And I'm wondering if B feels like he got enough value out of this. The shenanigans are annoying, but like, yeah, there's a bunch of injured villagers. None of them are dead, however. Yeah, he is going to be able to get the mining camp. But love that Wham saved the system. The system's the most important thing here. It's unfortunate. Like, if B had built it slightly deeper, he would have been able to just garrison and stop that. Wolf's now coming up. The archers here is going to be very difficult for B to stop this happening. Does get the scout, though. Big deal. Cost him a spin in response, but worth it. Remember, Wham doesn't have a stables. Firing blanks? What are you on about, dude? I fire all the shots. Like, I can't be asked to think of a mum comment now, but that's shots fired. Do it every time, baby. Guys, why is everyone so focused on, like, my operation? I mean, like, what would make you focus on that? It's not like I had a, like, stream title talk. Oh, wait, yeah, we done that. Have all shots been fired by B is what I'm wondering. Does he now just fall back to full greed? We've got a wall coming up. The deer have been lamed. Is this pro scouts? Ain't no way he's rushing castle with 6 sheep. This is like heavily delayed pro scouts. That sounds pretty bad. If you haven't like completely skewed your opponent, that cannot feel good. Because think about what's happened here. Wham has got level 3 system already. He's adding in longbows, plus he's going to have the Limitane. He's got backup gold if he needs techs. And he's even going to move to secure the east side berries. Yeah, now I know this is a crazy thought, but who would have thunk it? Roosh not as impressive of an outpost rush as we thought. It's weird. I think there was maybe a bit of gambit here from B that it was going to be berries and gold close by, because then the wooden fortress makes a lot of sense. But, you know, if you think of civs that can cheese an outpost rush win, I don't think Roosh rate that highly anymore. It's unexpected, which is powerful. But for outpost rushes to really obliterate your opponent, you're normally looking for those situations where you build an outpost, and then a second, and then maybe even a third, if that's your win condition. The only reason I can think that this felt justified to B is he wanted to stop the full easy stone scaling, and maybe was worried about a fast castle biz. But we have pro scouts plus knights. I mean, we talked about that time for biz, right? There's a timing where they just go into Lombo or Jav, they scale a bulk military, and then they get Kira Siphon to push as you're attacking. Maybe that's why B done this, to make that an impossible type of build. Wait, what do you mean my tower doesn't have emplacements? Bruh. I mean, if I really want to be toxic about kids, you just say I'm an archer without toxic arrows. Whoa, that's mean. I mean, you know what BS my mother said to me about, like, the operation? It's like such a beautiful act of love that you were willing to do that for her. I was like, yeah, she don't see it that way. I think I got scammed. You know what? We're just going to say I done it for the YouTube video. That's why. I done the operation for you guys. Now subscribe. Please. Give you more info about the operation? There's a YouTube video for that. We went over it. I got lasered in the junk. It was an interesting experience. I'll say one of the weirdest things is, like, the amount of, like, gauze they managed to tuck in was surprising this morning when I had a shower. It's like, dude, I felt like I was, like, unraveling a whole like bandage, like a roll of bandage. Like, there's that much in there? That's right. Got lasered in the dicks of the clicks. That's... Honestly, like, for how this felt at the start, I think B's done reasonably well. But there has to be a growing concern. You're just giving Byzantines what they want now. And the Wooden Fortress has been ignored, sure, but it's not like it stops the system scaling. It definitely delayed the timing, right? Like, normally at 9 minutes, we have level 5 system. That's pretty important. But he's got the gold gathering now. I imagine we're thinking castle. Olive Grove's already being added in. And, you know, like in a normal game, you'd already be castle age. But, like, B is taking a very different direction. This is all up. He's massing the archers. Problem is, with the way that Wham played berries, there's a real possibility you could be running into close to 20 lombos. Hit Deco. I think the way I described it is it was almost like having a stomach cramp when the pain started to come in operation. So I guess like feeling a bit of a stomach cramp isn't bad if you're being lasered in the flesh. Smell of cooking flesh was interesting. I basically got some insights into how cannibals live. I never really thought I'd get that. Not via the eating, but the smelling. So, did dive in for the Wooden Fortress kill, but Lombos are slow to retreat here. Yeah, B, he just wants to trade them out as freely as he can. Limitane will die fast, this many archers. I think Wham, maybe feeling like he was being a bit greedy with what he's done here. Does he think about adding in horsemen? We have got the stables at the back, but he's yet to commit. Walls are up on the east side now, so at least the drawn attention west has paid off there. I guess he just wanted horsemen to stop pro scouts, so like maybe... I think what happened here is Wham was somewhat expecting fast castle and thought he'd just be able to build some people to deny pro scouts. Now, he has denied some pro scouts on the back with these walls, at least. And pressure is going to switch towards the berry. But Wham's ready to pull the trigger, folks. And look at the olive oil. He can get 5 more lombos. Does at least stop it before the gate goes up. The lombos outrange. Like, this is an awkward thing. Your lombos can kill the archers. They can't reach you. So this is impossible to breach. It's so toxic when you get this experience against LBs. Thank God they made walls harder to do these days. Bees just have to accept fate. We're going to the third age. High Trade House is on the way up. Get your numbers in. And he's going for the siege engineering. Okay, so to keep pressure up, this makes sense. Like, he's mass archers. Going castle doesn't change the fact you can't break a wooden wall. So he's going to need to build a ram either way. My concern is, like, could Wham just open Cadders here? With level 4 system, surely. 2 or 3 Cataphracts is just great. You could clear the ram straight away just to keep the pressure up, or just use it to dive on the archers and muddy the fight. He's now on the way. B will give the respect, backing away. And I did somehow sneak in. Unlikely he's going to find any worker kills, though. Would love to see just an immediate monk queue from Wham. Yeah. Just feels really good. Just that initial gold sliver. And there's the cataphract we talked about. This is all pretty solid. Like, at the current scaling point, Wham could easily start to just outmass knights because of the buff to his eco. Especially if B keeps leaning archers. So High Trade House, 68. Looks like we're going to be getting 136 or 137. It's respectable. And yo, is that double monastery build? Don't see it as often anymore for Roos, as that's so expensive for warrior monks. I guess his feeling is that he won't have map control for long with the threat of premium longbows. Jesus Christ, these comments from my chat. You share a moment of vulnerability, and yeah, they don't know what I expected. Wait, like, that's not accurate. Like, Golden Horn Tower can shoot out units. It's just like, if you're a Golden Horn Tower, can only shoot out one type of unit, right? I haven't got the diversity of units that make it whole. It's like I'm a Western contract missing the Landsknecht. Okay. Ooh, good positioning here from Wham. Yeah, just like get to outrange over the tree line. He was trying to sneak a wall down the line there. That would have been sick, but B does at least see it. So delays the relic return a little bit. Yo, I don't need more babies in the world, okay? 2 of my babies is more cuteness than the world can handle. Is B kind of stuck in this comp now? I mean, in theory, with enough archers, right? And Wham has potentially overextended here. A dive into the middle of the map, and the archers are just going to rotate past that front line. They're trying to ignore the Varangian and the Limitane. And Lombos are going to get swarmed. Great fight by B. Just a cost-efficient trade as well. These cheap archers. The trash mobs to get rid of. And the Saint's Blessing at the tail end to make it cleaner. Wham! A full overextension there. Not respecting the immobility of the LBs. Now, needs to be yelling B to his troops fast. They are going to retreat into the shroudment of the Stealth Forest. Cataphracts are going to punish the formation a little bit on the aftermath. That's the one weakness, right? It's like B had a lot of archers, but I think he got what he wanted. He wanted Lombos gone for them. Now you can try to follow up Knights to answer the Varangian Cataphracts, but like, there might be a quality issue here. Yeah, Wham lost a lot of that backbone, that back line. But I think it was a bait. Look at the Cata count. Look at the Varangian count. B's struggling to win a Knight massing at this point. Especially if Wham just is already getting farms in, and he is indeed. I love this. Switches over the deer. That would allow him to go more Catas. Absolutely wild fight. I mean, it's actually crazy the way that Wham done this. I don't think many people would be willing to just palm off 20-plus Lombos like that. The crazy part is that, you know your opponent's going to have more olive oil. He's got Golden Horn Tower. I was impressed with my Golden Horn Tower, but, why did I say that? This is what you guys are doing to me. The problem now is, like, you kind of feel like you have to keep the path of archers. You can't switch horse archers against Lombos. That's going to be horrible. Because they'll just kill you on the way in, right? Lance Nectar's a waste for Wham. I think he's just lucking out in a bad way on Golden Horn Tower, unfortunately. Like, preferably you just get more LBs. Is there a good option back? Chuganu could have been intriguing, actually, for Wham. Not crazy broken. I think in, like, an ideal world, what Wham would have loved to have gotten his hands on here was, like, Sipahi on a trade post. Then again, I don't know if Wham ever does neutral trade posts. The final relic split, by the way, is going to be free for Wham. So, pretty good haul. Did he drop them? Yes, Grand Winery. So, it's going to be about the mercenary pumps. Just got the teardrop shields on the way. Remember, that's going to be a buffer for the Cataphracts, the Limitane, and the Varangian. Affects all of them. So more armor for the Catas, movement speed for the Limitane, and of course, attack speed for the Varangian. Did he eyeball the crossbow switch? I don't think so. I think B is intentionally hiding the Expos until he's ready. The tricky part about the Expo transition is if you don't have archers as well, the Longbows are still a problem now because they can snipe the Expos. Remember also, this is kind of the point where Wham should feel a little bit weak. Groves, right? Like, he needs to add more in. That's painful to do, but we're getting past that weak point. For B, however, this is the type of game where Pro Scouts feels like you're delaying inevitable danger. Like, it's great for these early timings, but eventually, you're looking and going, I'm going to run out of food. I'm going to have to do something about that. And the options just aren't really competitive. Like, you can do boar to extend for a bit, but then it's berries into farms. Groves are just built diff. Another interesting one, actually, is in the hyper late game for this matchup. It was discovered a while ago that Byzantines actually are pretty solid into Rus. Rus used to be super scary for Biz due to the mass siege, but ever since 90% of Biz games became foreign engineering company, the Royal Cannons have been a stain upon the Rus dominance in late game. Yeah, one upside at least for Rus is, you know, Byzantines aren't very good at spamming Streltsy anymore. I think the biggest edge the Rus can have here is the quality of the Horseman in Imperial against Longbow Master. Like, if you can get towards Horseman Streltsy, you're probably going to feel quite unstoppable here. Definitely easier said than done. Flash coming in. Wham tries to dive. Knight count here is only 8. Crossbow count fairly strong at 11. The Sprinals are trying to do their best. Cataphract's going for the dive to the backside. That's going to draw all the fire. They will look for the clobbering, but not able to clear it. So Sprinals stay alive. Wham! An overzealous dive will be forced to retreat. We've been here before. The question after this type of fight is, what can B do with this? How does he now turn this into a real punishment? Dive retreat. Looks like with a limited cavalry, it might be a bit concerning for B to chase this too aggressively. But the reason why I asked that question, guys, is look at the food income. B, it's like, it's not enough for him currently to win one fight. He probably feels like he needs to win 2 to 3 back to back to back. Remember, we were fighting underneath his defenses on his side of the map. We're now starting to push back towards Wham's side. The military count in the fights is actually fairly similar. The Springles are a problem, but like I think B's paranoia is if he goes too hard in Springles, the Longbows will just kill you. Because remember, they are actually quite weak against ranged. So I like that he's not overkilling it. We've seen games where B does like, you know, 14, 15, 16 Springles. Absolutely wild. I think in this type of game, it probably would just be the end of him because he wouldn't have the front line to keep pushing. But a slow down moment, and Wham taking advantage of this now to switch into Horseman. So Horseman Longbow can make a decent amount of sense. Like, you haven't answered the Knight issue is the only issue, right? Like, your opponent's Knights can run you through, and they do have Boys Fortitude to make it easier. So it's definitely something that Wham's going to have to be cognizant of. He's going to need a solution for that. B, for the time being, he's just going to choose to continue to slow roll this. He's got a lot of gold passively, you know, 152 off the High Trade House, plus the Sacred Site Relics. It's adding in a pretty penny here, right? Like, he's at 500-ish rather, passive gold a minute. He's only going to keep using it for Knights for the time being. However, we do have Horse Archers now. Is this because he wants to raid? I'm trying to figure out, like, what is the Horse Archer for? Because Horsemen's are problematic for you, Limitane are problematic for you, Longbows are problematic for you. They are kind of tanky once you have Boys Fortitude. And no, B is sitting on no farms. 0 farm gamer, which means it's coming soon. So it kind of really pays dividends and merit to Byzantine eco when they are mirroring the military count while taking fights like this. And have been adding in olive groves. Yeah, like average males kiddo count from their shots, then my average kiddo count. No worry. I hope so. I'm not getting lasered in the balls again. Why is it like, I don't know why this particular one's been so focused on this. Do him some justice. Let's give B's last stand. Look at the Horseman count. Out of nowhere, 20 plus. Courtesy of the production rates. This is where Byzantines thrive. Pulls it back to reveal the Knights into the Limitane. Goes in for the second wave. Horseman wrapping around the back. Longbow's now reaching in range as well. B is going to go for the Wooden Fortress up on the front line. Spirals are penetrating through that tanky beginning of Limitane Horseman. And B now swelling up and forward. Longbows have to retreat. He keeps them alive. He gets them away. But B is making this map uncomfortable. Sacred Site victory timer has started. A military lead now that matters. And B, for the 3rd time in a row, makes the moves mandatory to come out a mile ahead. To have those miles added up enough for the Tortoise to win the race. Wham is now pivoting into Mangoes. Dangerous to do with very limited gold in his base. Horsemen are going to start riding out. Not a bad idea to try and just move onto your enemy economy. A little bit dangerous when he's this close to your base, though. B, this is full containment protocol. Look at the minimap. Oh my. He's creating a no man's land where he's created both sides of the wall. Yeah, this is Berlin, Cold War era, if one construction company was responsible for both sides. The horsemen are going to find him trying to do this, but no Exploratorius and no quick kills. Textiles also to protect, and great use of the gate by B to get out. So a little bit of in and out weaving with the Dukes. We'll at least be able to minimize the losses. Full army is now rotating. Now, the interesting part is B, he just wants Imperial Age. He backed all the way up. What? Yeah, you'd think with that type of positioning, you'd want to maybe attack, but I think B understood what we were talking about all too well. Like, Byzantine economy, there's never an end. Even if you know they have no gold, they still have food, they still have wood, they still have olive oil. So they always have possibilities. So I actually respect his choice just to go for his own age up. He still wants this wall. Really? Wasn't expecting the Lombos to be waiting this time, so he's going to get sniped there. That's a 10 worker lead. Guys, that's actually more than 10 worker lead. Remember, we're at this point where the system buff adds up quite a bit. It's an extra 20 workers. And that's going to allow Wham to quickly catch up with his own imp timing. An imp timing that would also unlock elite techs in, on average, 24 seconds. As long as he switches over to Dialecticus. Now, B does have enough of runway here that he should be able to get his elite techs first. And remember, he went high armory, so wants to lean siege, but this is where the game truly gets dangerous against Byzantines. Biz in Imperial Age equal Royal Cannons. Royal Cannons equal siege dominance. So I'm hoping B isn't thinking of doing one of these classic mass mango traps. Because I've seen it fall flat so often against Biz. Oh wait, people don't like the stat screen being religious? Wait, I can blackmail them. 5 gifted. Now. And wait, what was that question? Does market caravan unit increase gold generation linearly with distance? It's always, yeah, based on just a line drawn between start point end. So if you have a bunch of walls taking you all the way around, too bad you're not getting more gold yet. So you can't create a clowny maze near a trade post to get maximum gold. As funny as that would be. You can kind of do it at least with the Malian tolls, but those things are really clunky anyway. So I wouldn't recommend it. So B has started adding farms, by the way. We're up to 17. 30 minutes in, when you're both Imperial Age, do you really want me to tell you how many farms Wham has? It's 42. It's a lot more pump, ready to be dumped. Nice, time to pump out those cannons. Double road cannon gets queued up. Horsemen have started to wrap in. Would love to see Exploratorius. If you're going to start poking at eco of Horsemen, it's just so invaluable. Especially if you feel like you haven't got much gold access, but it looks like Wham's fixing that now. We've got University plus triple outpost on the gold vein. He doesn't... I mean, he's got these knights, but I guess he just feels like there's no way he can raid into. Or maybe more importantly, feels like if he doesn't have everything rather to defend, he'll get overwhelmed. He's still 1 TC, so any cost of workers does hurt, remember. I do love that he went poleaxes, by the way. Like, poleaxes is such a slept-on tech. Remember, it gives +4 damage per strike to your knights. It's 4 blacksmith levels for this unit. Actually, between that and Boy's Fortitude, it makes you quite competitive with French knights. I'm not going to say it makes you beat them, unless you just A-click start to finish without moving. But, actually, think, like, based on tests, if I remember correctly, it was something like the difference in health left is maybe 30 or 40 for a French knight. Pretty damn good. If you have a true A-click fight, these guys can win. Well, I'm ready to go Imperial Age again. Sadly, that's not the way Age of Empires 4 works. Wait, now... Oh, 4 ages. Age of Empires... Oh, it makes sense. Except, like, other games have 4 ages. Wait, so Age of Empires 5 will have 5, right? Wow. Reluctant to take this fight. Was he trying to get towards adjustable crossbars? He's waiting on the incendiary arrows. That's coming in just 15 seconds, courtesy of the assistance. And he's just going to dump the mangoes. Not the high value hit he was looking for, but he's had to do some of them. The sprills are moving in, and wait, he's lined up. The longbows taking a lot of damage here. Arrows is there though. Wham. The cannons are next on the hit list. Has got the volley, activates it, but then starts running away. Gets out of range of the pursuing forces. Gets just enough stabilization here to clear the front line. Now his front line's gone. It's just all ranged. And there's a problem there. Like, longbows in this area are pretty scary. B does still have numbers though, and he's keeping pace. The cannon's doing a great job. They're sniping out the siege. No mango towers here. More Limitane just coming in to muddy this fight. And it's crazy that my brain is telling me this is not over, despite the military difference. But this is what Byzantines do. It never stops. 15 Varangian just hit the field. Backstab coming through, and it's just so quick. It's not just the never-ending economy, it's the production rates as well. It's unrivaled in Age of Empires 4. Not going to bog things down, but good read, adding in additional knights. B is able to keep that in check for the time being. Military count is closer than it's been. The archers are at least mopping through that backline of longbows. So a full reset there. Wham. He queues up 3 more batches of longbows. I mean, how do you end this game? This is the thing. There's no longer a sacred site. That got decapped. Gold access still remains, by the way. Wham's got 4k left. Even after that, he can always just take these Grand Winery relics and stick it inside a normal monastery to get gold. I think B maybe, like, he's trying to go mass Streltsy. Is there more value in getting knights for the raid? I guess it's tricky. The problem with Streltsy here is, like, raw cannons can just be the 50 cal sniper rifle. Numbers are waning a little, though. I think, wow. The good news for B is, like, if this is how he's looking with limited farms, imagine what happens when he gets fully dense. Right? Like, 40 farms plus. And this is big as well. Silk bowstrings on the way. Do we have a mirrored tech from Wham? I don't think so. Yeah, he didn't prioritize Lombos getting that. I don't blame him. So, like, here's the thing, right? Like, if you ask your average, like, Redditor who tested it in, like, a private lobby, they're probably going to tell you that Longbow Silk Bowstrings is OP. And we've seen situations where they were. There's a reason why it got changed slightly and why Wall's range increase got changed. Because it was broken. But on average, one of the problems with Lombos having Silk Bowstrings, it puts you so far away from the fight that a backstab just wipes your LBs. Does that make sense? It's like you're just so far away from your front line can't protect you. That's why it doesn't often get rushed with these longbow strats. It's a big deal for B because it means he's going to have practically the same range with normal archers. Cannons are now moving in. He moves in for the gold. He's like, yeah, I'm going to need that. Like, building Imperial Knights is not cheap. Hamas is favoring Wham for the time being. And this is where things do get scary. Streltsy, like, the archers trading out against longbow is great, but the Streltsy, you have to run so deep to actually target. He's going to go for the dive now. The villagers are starting to be pulled there. Just get a lot of Streltsy being expended by B. But 1-to-1, they'll do better than they'll be. Usually the issue is, like, you just can't reach them. The lack of front line is a little bit concerning for Wham. But the Varangian are now showing up. Okay, so they took the long way around. I don't know what they were doing over here. But that is going to force a retreat. And Berserk gets activated. He just wants one touch. Goes in for the workers. Great grab. The one TCB might find this a little bit problematic. He's down to 26 military. And look at the eco. What a hit. What a timing there. And imagine how this now feels. Down to 72 eco, and you're still trying to mass Streltsy Knights. Gold income also a little bit concerning. I mean, you do still have the big vein on the side, but you weren't able to take away from Wham. And that matters a lot when you see this. It's 45 Varangian. We said it before, we'll say it again. There's just no sieve like Byzantines when it comes to production. Someone said Chinese IO. Psh, please, take your beer and pour it down the toilet. Mix me up a fruity, delicious Byzantine cocktail with a few olives dropped in it. Nothing beats this. Absolute absurdity. A Varangian spammed out every 13 seconds. And the multitude of Raxes. And guys, this is where Systems got buffed. Late game, they're so affordable. You splash them out. You have 20 production builders that could all easily be buffed by this. You move for gold veins in the center of the map. You drop the systems that you normally would not because they cost you 350, 400, 450 stone. This is where Byzantine smile. What is up? I'm smiling at that. I see you, Townhouse Dan. Thank you very much for the Prime sub. Welcome back to the Swarm. Now, speaking of Swarms, how do you solve this? This is where the Varangian would probably struggle against mass Spriggles. But it's the delayed dynamics. We mentioned it in the Castle Age. Like, Lombos kind of makes you think twice about massing Springs. We'll definitely keep him away from that idea. These walls. A muddied mess. Only able to hold this back temporarily. Dive's coming in, and I think we have a new boogeyman at the end of the midweek musters. He was able to slay Anatan, and now able to slay the most threatening. Knights are trying to wrap around the back, but there's already a wave of Varangian waiting there. Volley's going to get activated. And there's not even a stutter away. B has to stand his ground here. It's about to reach his economy. He can't afford that. But I can't see a world in which he can afford to stay in this game any longer. Pretty cool grand finals. Wasn't able to get the full distance, but some memorable games coming through in Midweek Muster 27. NA looking to make themselves memorable at the end of our $9,000 esports circuit. GG comes out. Wham, you're back-to-back champion.